Have you been struggling with low energy, especially in the afternoons? It's hard to get yourself up to go and do things that you need to get done anyway. Well, I want to talk to you for a minute about why that could be happening to you and why you should care about it. If you're new here, I'm Rita Johnson, owner of Divine Mercy Nutritional Care, and I help women with reproductive health issues to take their health back into their own hands through dietary changes, lifestyle changes, mindset work, and at home lab testing. So let's get down to it. Obviously, we know when we have fatigue and low energy that we just aren't able to give all of ourselves. Sometimes we feel not ourselves at all, right? But oftentimes we just think that this is a sign of aging or a fact that happens because we had a baby or we had a second baby or we have a really stressful job or we haven't been eating that great lately. Oftentimes we just kind of leave it there. I hear this all the time from women where they're like, I don't feel that good or I have really low energy, but and then they justify why that happens. And it's almost as if that justification leads them down the path to say, you know what? Hey, this is just who I am. This is the way my body works, and there's nothing else I can do about it. If that's you, I just want to say first and foremost that that is not okay to be living in this place, nor should you have to. There is so much that we can do to help support your body and decrease that fatigue. So, why you should care about this is because this is a precursor sign to something bigger happening. So a lot of times when I talk about things like our fatigue or running on adrenaline all the time or cortisol, if you were fasting and you constantly have this revved up, excited feeling all day long, it can be a sign that your body is running off of cortisol. Well, just like that with fatigue, if we don't stop and nip that in the bud before it gets further progressed, then it can cause a whole host of issues. At the very least, if you're in your 20s and 30s and approaching this perimenopausal time, which typically happens in our 40s, then what happens is by the time we get to our 40s, in that time, we need to really rely on our adrenals to make enough progesterone to support us to feel well throughout the day. And if we get to our 40s and our adrenals are constantly zapped from producing so much cortisol for us, from helping us to go, 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 and then eventually we're just dragging along with this fatigue, this very heavy feeling of not being able to get enough sleep ever, of not being able to drink enough coffee to get perked up, whatever it is for you, whatever those feelings of fatigue, brain fog are, that's a sign that we need to dive deeper into. So, what could it possibly be? Well, some things that can be wrong or off when we have a high amount of fatigue could, first and foremost, the very first thing I'm always thinking of when a woman tells me that this is a common symptom for her is blood sugar dysregulation. So, blood sugar dysregulation is really a matter of are we eating and nourishing our body appropriately in a way that's really helping to stabilize energy levels? That's a really big thing that can be off and easily supported to help improve overall energy very quickly. Now, the second thing I think about is adrenals. How are your adrenal glands doing? Our adrenals make DHEA, they make cortisol, they make epinephrine and norepinephrine, which are basically they're creating the hormones that are precursors or up the waterfall from your sex hormones. So if there's dysfunction there, then there's also going to be dysfunction with our progesterone and our estrogen, which are what we're oftentimes thinking more about when we say that our hormones are off. But in reality, it could actually have to do with your adrenals having dysfunction first and foremost. So the good news is there's a lot that we can do to support our adrenals and support our blood sugar levels. The very first thing I always say when I see blood sugar extremely dysregulated is to try to incorporate being sure that you're eating adequate amounts of protein and healthy fats with your meals. And if you're already doing that, then starting to break up some nutrient dense protein fat snacks every couple hours to help stabilize your blood sugar. Now, we don't want you to stay there. That's just the first step in the process of helping you to be able to stabilize your blood sugar long term. With your adrenals, the best things are to get sleep, really try to go by a circadian rhythm, going to sleep and waking up along with the lines of the sun, depending on where you live. That can be a little more difficult, but really just trying to be sure that we're waking up and going to bed about the same time every day and getting at least 8 hours of sleep. Of course, there's a whole lot more that we can do to support our adrenals, but that's a really good place to start. If you like this video, I hope that you'll like and subscribe for more content from me. And if you want to know if maybe your doctor isn't the best advocate for you anymore, you're wondering if it's time to move on, grab my free ebook. It's called Reasons to Know That It's Time to Break Up with Your Doctor. And it helps set you up with next steps and who to look for to find your next advocate in your health journey.